I'm Dr. Sangeeta Amladi. I was principal investigator in this particular study of Tinefcon in moderate to severe chronic plaque psoriasis. At that time, I was professor and head of department at BYL Nair Hospital, which is one of the premier university medical teaching institutes in not only Bombay but in India itself. I have over 20 years of experience in dermatology in academic, clinical, research aspects, out of which in the last 9 years I have been professor in 3 major institutes in the city of Mumbai. Psoriasis has been one of my areas of interest, especially its connection with the metabolic syndrome, which we are all aware of, and I have participated in a number of research projects in the field of psoriasis over the last so many years. That Piramal Life Sciences has this huge R&D kind of a base which we are all very familiar with, and we do have a certain kind of a belief in research which is coming from this source. So that was one more thing that definitely gave me the feel that this would be something worth trying. As I already mentioned, in the study that we conducted, the patients were given Tinefcon twice a day orally for a period of 3 months, and we had assessed PASI and the histopathology at a target psoriatic lesion and the gene expression profiles and certain immunohistochemical markers. We found a significant improvement in PASI scores at the end of studies in patients with moderate to severe psoriasis. So our initial impression is that Tinefcon does have efficacy in the management of chronic plaque psoriasis, and we found that in virtually all our patients it was well tolerated. They did not have problems related to the ingestion or the dosaging of the medication. So at the end of 3 months, I would say that we have a favorable impression overall, both on the efficacy and on the tolerability aspects of Tinefcon. I would prescribe Tinefcon to my psoriasis patients in the future because I have, having been the principal investigator in this study, I am reasonably convinced with this initial data that we have that it is a drug that works in moderate to severe chronic plaque psoriasis. Of course, I mean, larger patient populations, longer time frames of study, all of this has to be done for us to know long-term safety, to know whether there are any other issues that are going to develop with this drug. But if I'm talking only of whether it has efficacy, yes, this is something that we did observe in the studies that we conducted. And we found that the drug was quite safe and tolerable. So from that point of view, I would definitely prescribe Tinefcon as one of my anti-psoriatic drug kitty. Given the fact that it's an oral drug and has this specific anti-TNF alpha effect, if the future of psoriasis, and that's what we all believe, if the future of psoriasis treatment is going to be targeted immunotherapies, then there's a distinct possibility that it will be a very comfortable drug for patients to use in the future and could very well, be a first-line drug sometime in the future for psoriasis. I would just like to say that everything that I have spoken is from my experience in the study that I have conducted, and it's not just me, but there were other investigators, and we did this in a multicentric format in a very, very stringent way, and with multiple both subjective and objective markers of improvement. So it was our collective feeling at the end of this study that this is definitely a drug worth exploring and worth having for our patients of psoriasis. See, we have such a lot of experience in psoriasis. You know, we all see hundreds of patients of psoriasis. It's a problem that's increasing worldwide. We see so many cases, and they have severe problems with quality of life issues. You know, simple things like going out somewhere into, you know, just to for marketing, or going to say their workplace, or even in interpersonal relationships. I mean, in such basic type of areas also, psoriasis patients find so much of a compromise in their quality of life just because of this condition. So I believe that any drug which can help them, you know, live a comfortable quality of life and not inconvenience them too much in its you know, prescription or dosing or other aspects, would definitely be a good drug for them to explore for the future. So, given the fact that the existing drugs are either the topical, slightly sticky, you know, preparations, or you have phototherapy, which is cumbersome, or you have, say, drugs like methotrexate, retinoids, etc., where there are side effect issues, or then you have on the absolute opposite side the targeted therapies, which are coming with very high cost now. This is a drug which I'm hoping really, you know, that it will play a big role in psoriasis treatment in the future.
Other products of Tinefcon, like a cream of Tinefcon?
A cream of Tinefcon is a very interesting concept. I think if we were targeting it at just localized plaques, say even in a patient of psoriasis, the residual or the refractory plaques, uh, it would have a very good role to play. Since it's a specific targeted immunotherapy, my sense is that the oral form of it would be more suitable for patients who had multiple lesions, and if you had very few persistent lesions, definitely a topical format would be something to explore.